you. I'm just gonna go live a couple, like 1 minute early. I had some issues with seeing the comments yesterday, so I'm gonna try something different today. So I just wanted to get on here just a minute early, and I'm gonna set up my iPad over here, and hopefully I'll be able to see the comments. Here we go. There we go. This is weird though, because I'm seeing myself here and I'm looking over here and seeing myself. So that's okay. All right, hopefully what'll happen is I'll be able to see comments here. So, but I'm just gonna have a sip of coffee. We're not in any hurry this morning. I wanna make sure my, what are these things called? Yeah, it's warming up. Okay. It wasn't warm earlier, but I had forgotten to turn my hot plate wasn't warm earlier. I forgot to turn on the power strip. So we're looking good there. I haven't done anything yet other than put my whey in. Okay, so, well, we got one viewer, but I think that's me. That's pretty funny. Okay, so let's just talk for a second, and we'll see if more people are going to join us. I know it's just now 10 o'clock, and I did start it just a minute early so I could get everything ready. I had a moment to go out on the front porch and sit and take a picture of my shoes, which I'll show you later. My dear friend Diane gave them to me, and they are from Rifle Paper Company, and they're super cute. And it's unfortunate that you can never see my shoes that I'm wearing. Sometimes I'm barefoot, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just gonna check. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a comment here. I don't see where it's. Oh, okay, very good. All right, so I tested it out. I can see it. I don't want to be full screen right here, though. No. I'm just playing around for a second, waiting for more people to join us here. Okay, all right, I think we're going to get started. So, unfortunately, we are working with it back here, and I don't have my stove, and this doesn't seem to be getting hot like I need it to. Is this one getting hot? Let's see. Without heat, we're not going to make ricotta. That's just where it's at. Okay, so I'm seeing the comments show up there. I still think I'm the only one viewing. I just want to see which one of these is going to get hot here. Which is really weird because I used this one yesterday. And if neither one of them get hot, then we're having an issue. Because we cannot make ricotta. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't see. Oh, let's see. I commented in the wrong spot. Good morning. Good morning. I took your advice, Samantha. I have my iPad here, but my comments are showing up over there now. So I just have to hit the screen here, I think, to see comments pop up. So, all right, we're going to figure this whole thing out. All right. I'm just having an issue with the heat this morning. With the hot plates. So I'm just kind of checking that situation out. Oh, you know what? Okay, I figured out what the problem is. All right, so give me just a second, guys. I apologize. My power strip keeps flipping over here, which would explain why the hot plates are not getting warm. So give me just a second here. And I'm going to plug my computer in over here to take some of the load off of this one, and I should be okay. I don't normally plug in my computer I have a laptop sitting right there. I'm pointing at you guys. That's my laptop. And I don't normally plug it into the power strip behind it. I usually plug it in over here. So that would explain, hopefully. Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. I know exactly what the problem is. I'm trying to do 2 hot plates at once. It's never going to work. Okay. So what we're going to do, I had just put on some hot water for sterilizing if I needed to, but I feel pretty comfortable with, I just washed everything in the dishwasher, so we should be good. And I washed my table down because, you know, with cheese making, you want everything to be sterile and as clean as possible. So you'll see no tablecloth. I just wiped down, I sprayed down some cleaner on the table. I just ran everything through the dishwasher. So that's what the problem was. Okay, so I flipped the power strip because I'm trying to run 2 hot plates. This is the problem with not being in the kitchen, but I like this setup much better. So we're gonna have to make it work. We're gonna figure out how to make it work. Okay, so good morning. Welcome to making ricotta. This is part of the Chicken Librarian Makes series. Okay, so all I've done so far, I got up this morning and I made some mozzarella. I made 2 batches of mozzarella. I had 2 gallons of raw milk in the refrigerator that I purposely bought for this purpose. And so sometimes I don't think ahead. And I should have made mozzarella and ricotta last night. So I made 2 batches of mozzarella this morning, went fine. So then I was trying to make 1 batch of ricotta because I don't need to make 2 batches in here. You just need to see 1 batch. And I think because I was trying to do too much at once, I messed up the ricotta. This would be the first batch of mozzarella, and then I messed up the second batch whey ricotta. So hopefully we're going to get something today. All right, you hear this popping and cracking. So all I've done, I made my mozzarella. This is my whey, and then I have added milk to it. So my milk and my whey are probably like halfway. And so you need about 2 gallons of whey in order to make ricotta. We're making whey ricotta, not just milk ricotta. I've never really done ricotta with just using milk. And the particular reason why is it feels kind of wasteful to me to then have leftover, like you're already going to have leftover whey of the whey, which I'll feed like to the chickens and stuff, but it just feels really wasteful to me. So at least this way I get mozzarella and then I use the whey and then I get ricotta and then I have like a byproduct from that. So it just doesn't feel as wasteful. So that's why I do it that way, but you can make like just regular milk ricotta, which is not what we're doing today. So all I've done so far, like I said, is I have my whey. I've added a little bit more milk in here. I've got it about halfway up the pot. You want about 2 gallons. I don't measure it. I just kind of go halfway. So you need a lot of the milk and the whey because it doesn't make a lot of ricotta. Like it takes a lot of milk and a lot of whey to make a really good batch of ricotta. That's all I've done. We're heating this to 200. I have my thermometer. I know we're not there because this has been off of the heat for a little bit. But what happens is if you make your mozzarella and then you go straight into your ricotta, it's not going to take you as long to get to 200. You want to really, you don't want to boil it, but you want to get it to 200. But I have heard a lot of people, or a lot of people have said to me, like, my ricotta never turns out. And I'm like, well, what did you heat it to? And a lot of times, the recipe that they're using is not heating it to 200. So that's important to get it to 200. The other thing you want to do is add acid. Whenever we're starting to add the acid to this, you're going to see we're using a lot of acid. Okay. So let me just check my little comments over here. Anybody else has joined us? I think right now it's just you and me, Samantha. All right. That's good. It's all right. People will join us. If not, that's okay. It'll just be me and you. Let me take a sip of coffee. Whew. How you doing today, Samantha? You doing good? Maybe somebody else is on here and I just don't know it. Okay? So I've been working with the lighting. Let me tell you what I've been doing because we're going to have some downtime here because this has got to get to 200. And with my kicking the breaker or the, the power strip and all that good stuff, we're going to have a couple minutes here. So I'm playing with the lighting. I'm thinking about getting an external webcam because although I am watching me over here and it's not as bad as it has been in the past. So we're going to play around with that. We're going to get, good morning, Kim. You just logged on. That's okay. You haven't missed much. All you missed was me kicking my electric power strip off and wondering why the hot plates weren't working. That's all you really missed. I'm going to go back over everything just because you know, I took a little bit of extra time this morning to go take a picture of my shoes on the front porch, and I probably should have been in here paying attention to what was going on in front of me. Okay. So anyway, playing around with the lighting here, we're going to get this set up a little bit better. I don't mean to have that stuff over there showing, but it is what it is. You can really see what the house looks like. See, this is what I try to show you here, and over there is what it really looks like. All right, so I'm going to stick my thermometer down in here, and this is just one. I have several. This is the meat thermometer. I have several different thermometers. I like this one because it's got the really large numbers on it and I can see it better. So, but it only goes from like 100 to like 210, 220. So 210, I guess it would be. So this is really good for like, I want it to go to 200, so this is good. We're just going to stick it in here and we're going to, and I'll repeat everything that I just said for those of you who are just joining, because I did say a little bit about, see, I think there's some mozzarella down in here, or the, you know, but we're gonna figure it out. There shouldn't be, but I could see some stuff down in there. Hopefully it's going to turn into ricotta for us. All right, so we're only at like 120. Now I would prefer to have like a smaller pot, and then you could just rest your thermometer. You know, you have those that have the little clip on the side, so you could just clip it on there. We don't have that. I don't have that in here because I wanted to use the one with the bigger numbers on it so I could see it a little bit better. Let me just check my messages. Okay, I think that's good. I think we're all here together. Okay, so let's start over for those of you who are just joining. All I've done so far is I've used my whey from mozzarella I made this morning, and then I added more milk in here to get it to about halfway at my pot. So you want 2 gallons of whey, and if you need to add more milk to it, then that's what you do. Okay. We're getting it to 200. We're gonna the high temperature is important, but you don't want to boil it, which is what I think happened this morning. I made 2 batches of mozzarella, and so then I was just going to use 1 ricotta in here, 1 batch of whey, and then I tried to make another batch in the kitchen this morning of ricotta, but I think I walked away doing other things, of course, and I boiled my water, or my milk, I mean, and I think that just didn't help me out any. So we're going to add a lot of acid. We're going to get it up to 200, which is the important part here. And then we're going to strain it. It's going to sit for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to strain it. And hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, we're going to get ricotta. All right. So there were some other things I was going to tell you. I keep forgetting to share my books with you. In the very beginning, I used to do this, and then just kind of, I guess out here, I just, you know, whatever, everything's bright and shiny. So, but I use this home cheese making by Ricky Carroll, who, if you've joined me before for mozzarella, then you'll know she's the guru, and I really like her, and I usually take her stuff and adapt it a little bit. Like, I don't use her whey ricotta. I have, I don't think well, I mean, she's the guru. Who am I to tell her she's doing something wrong? She's not. It works for her. But her recipe didn't work for me, so I adapted it to work for me, which is I just add more acid. Okay. But you can do her website is cheesemaking.com, which is where I buy my cheesemaking supplies from. If it's particular, like I got the really good, let me walk over here. I'll just check my comments while I'm here too. It's always good to kind of walk around. Oops. Uh-oh. Ooh, something weird there. Okay. Okay. So this is where I get this really good, I like this more plasticky cheesecloth. It just holds up better to me, and I can reuse it than regular cheesecloth. But if you joined me long enough, you know I really, and this is really stained up, but it is clean. I just washed it and it went through the dryer. The thing I like about the plastic cheesecloth and this muslin is that you can just throw it right in the washer. I throw this in the dryer and I hang the plastic up to dry. Obviously, you wouldn't throw the plastic in the dryer. So, what else? What else? I made a bunch of pillows yesterday. I'm starting a craft along in a couple of weeks. If you're interested in crafting, then join me for that. Oh, I'll show you my fabric. We're going to do This bunting that you see on the cheesecloth, or the cheesecloth, yeah, that cheesecloth hanging on the wall, the chalkboard hanging on the wall. We're going to make one of those to start with, and you don't have to have sewing skills, and you don't have to have a sewing machine to do it. We're going to talk about a couple of different ways to do that. This is going to take us a little while. I had meant to have this on, so the heating up wouldn't take us as long, but that's what it is. That's what happens. Anyway, so you don't have to have a sewing machine, and I am not a good sewer. I literally cannot sew a straight line, but we can make like simple things like these buntings. I made pillows yesterday. And I don't really care what it looks like in terms of like, it doesn't have to be all perfect and whatever. I just take tea towels and I fold them over, the right sides together, and I zip around, I stuff it, and then I just turn the fabric down a little bit, and then I just zip through there and make a seam, and it works, and it's fine for me. So we're going to do some crafting together. It won't all be sewing. Okay, we're slowly, we're at 140, but let me show you. I picked up some fabric yesterday. Since we got a little bit of downtime here, let me plug my crafting. So I'm going to do like all these fun little fabrics. I went through my materials yesterday, and I have a ticking problem. This is the red ticking. I have a ton of blue ticking, which I used for the back of a pillow. Look at how pretty this is. Look at how pretty. I love fabric, but I never do anything with it. Look at how pretty. Okay. And then, of course, gingham. I wouldn't be preppy without gingham. All right. These are and this is Rifle Paper Company too, because they make really pretty fabric. And then that. And so we're going to do just one of those very simple buntings. Okay. And then I'm going to make my little pincushion teacups. I told you guys about that, I think. I got to entertain you while we're waiting for this to heat up, so pardon the interruption. I'm going to make little pincushions. I'm going to make some candles. I'm going to list those in my shop. I was supposed to be doing that yesterday instead of making pillows, but like the pillows have been waiting like for years, literally for years. So, all right, I'm just checking my comments. I don't see anything there. All right. What else? Made lilac syrup yesterday. For those of you who joined me, I didn't see any of those comments yesterday at all. They like literally did not even show up on so right now, part of my screen is some analytics down at the bottom. I can see me. It says live, and it shows me that there's 4 people. It doesn't show me who. And then over on the left-hand side, there's comments. And so right now I see I commented, Samantha commented, Kim commented. But yesterday you guys were commenting and there was nothing there. It's the weirdest thing. So yeah, so I missed all those comments on the lilac syrup yesterday. Lilac syrup is done. It's on the blog. You can catch the video here on Facebook. I don't know, what else? I don't know, let's see. I told you about my ricotta incident. Trying to think if there's anything else that happened this week that was kind of like one of those, of course, typical things. I don't think so. I can't remember. Cannot remember. I'm gonna make a pie today, I think. We're having a little cookout, and so I figured I would make a pie. I have some cherries in the freezer that I'm gonna make a cherry pie. I got my chicken pictures, and I have another one in the kitchen that I hung up that's really super cute. It's all barred rocks, which is my favorite chicken. I think that's it. Gonna do some more videos. I talked about that yesterday on the lilac whenever we were doing that. I'm gonna try some more videos, just kind of like impromptu and like a little bit more than Facebook Live, so that way you guys don't have to join me for a certain, I could have done that with the lilac syrup. I thought about that, but I'm like, it just seemed like, oh, let's just do it. Really impromptu Facebook Live thing. So, yeah, so I think I'm going to work on that. That's not my strong suit with doing videos and editing videos and that kind of thing. But I want to give it a shot. I feel like that's people, it's fun to do them, and it's good. I like to see people too, so whenever I'm watching something or whatever, you get to see that person, and you don't have to just tune in. All right, I'm just checking my temperature. We're just trying to get it to 200. I apologize. I didn't realize that I was kicking the power strip off, so it's going to take us a little longer than I had originally anticipated. You guys got anything good going on? Bad going on? I lost my summer gig this year because of the pandemic. I was supposed to start. I was going to be a visiting artist at one of the camps, and they decided not to open this year, and I understand that. It's totally understandable, and I feel really bad for them because, like that's a huge, like, I just don't even know what that means for them at this point. But hopefully everybody will come out on the other side and, we can support each other however we can. But I lost that. I canceled our trip in October, which is a bummer. Yeah, so we're just going to do some more craft alongs and some more videos together, guys. You're going to see more of me. Aren't you excited? Yeah, okay. So this is going really, really slow. We want to get, I think there's still like a bunch of, you should see this. I wish I could, let me see if I can, I think there's mozzarella down in here. Oh my gosh. Or that's going to turn into ricotta. Do you see that? All right. So, wow. There's no way that's mozzarella. I got a ton of mozzarella out of this morning. Like I got a really nice batch of mozzarella out of this. All right. So let's just leave that like that. I'm just going to check over here. Okay, good. All right. I don't know, guys. How's it going? Oh, I see. Oh, people are okay. I can see people liking stuff over here. The little floaty. See, I don't get the little whenever you guys like things, like you give me the thumbs up or you laugh or any of that stuff. I never see that over here. But I did see something over here. So we're live and in studio this morning, guys. And I got my welly mug with my coffee. Oh, let's see here. Good morning, Deborah. Do you go by Deborah or Debbie? I don't ever want to call people like what they don't want to be called. But thank you for joining me. This is the one you've been waiting for, right? Yeah. All right. So, I don't know if you've just logged on, but if you have, you haven't missed much. We're just got about 2 gallons. I don't ever measure. You're supposed to get 2 gallons of whey. So this is left over. I made mozzarella this morning, and I just added more milk to it, and I've got about my pot halfway filled with the milk whey combo. And you really need 2 gallons. That makes a really good amount of ricotta. So that's all I'm done. And we're heating it to 200. I had a little bit of technical difficulties this morning. I was trying to get it heated early, but I kept kicking my power strip off. So, okay. So that's all we're doing. I'm just stirring this a little bit. I was just showing you guys, like, I think that might be leftover mozzarella, but we're going to use it and see what happens. I'm going to check my temperature. It's going to go a little slower because I'm on a hot plate this morning instead of a like the stove. So I like the setup better back here. So we're just going to make it work. And it might take us a while to get there. So that's what happens sometimes. It takes us a while. I didn't wear my wellies today. I needed my wellies yesterday, though. It sure rained like crazy yesterday. Oh, coffee's good. Good. Okay. What else? I'm going to make, I got 2 of these pints of heavy whipping cream. So at the end, you're going to hopefully see this. We're going to have ricotta in here, and then we're going to put it into a bowl. Like this is my grandmother's Pyrex bowl. I have a couple of her sets. We went to, if you've been following along, then you'll know that if you've been following along, like on the blog or, just Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you'll know that I've been getting my stuff out of storage. And one of the things I wanted to get was like all my kitchen stuff and my dishes and whatnot. And so we did that a couple weeks ago. And of course, one of the things I really wanted to get were all my Pyrex. I have a Pyrex addiction, but I do have my mom's Pyrex stuff. My maternal grandmother was a huge homemaker, make from scratch, huge garden. So my mom ended up with some of her Pyrex stuff. So I pretty much took it from my mom. It was in storage. She wasn't using it. And I'm like, hello, guess what? It's going home with me. So not the last time I was in Tennessee, but like a couple times before I took it from her. And we're not getting anywhere here. So this is going to take us a while. We might have to fake it, although I'm not sure if we fake it that we're going to get actual ricotta, because you really want high heat with this. You want to get that up to 200, and then you're going to add a lot of acid to it. You're going to take it off of the heat. You're going to get to 200. You're going to take it off the heat, and you're going to add a ton of acid to it, and then you're going to let it sit, and then you strain it, and then you get like the ricotta from there. So let me just check over here. Oh, good. Oh, couple comments. Okay, so this is whole milk. I only use whole milk for cheese making. You can use a lower fat milk, but I don't think you get as good of a product or as consistent of a product. So anytime I make cheese, it's with whole milk. So what I did this morning, and you guys know I drink raw milk, so everything I do is with raw milk, which is not necessary, but I like raw milk. I have a local source for raw milk, and he's certified by the state of Pennsylvania. He goes through testing all the time. Like, it's totally legit. So he's like listed on, whenever you look for raw milk in your state or whatever, he's listed on there. Like, he's totally legit, certified, all that good stuff. So I drink raw milk, but it's whole milk. So whenever I get it, it's got like that much cream on the top. It's really good. So you want whole milk, and so I made mozzarella this morning, and then this is the leftover whey, and then I have I have a gallon of milk in the refrigerator of whole raw milk, and then I just poured some of that whole milk into this to get to my roughly 2 gallons of whey milk mixture. So now, New Wave induction plate. Oh, I sure could have used that, huh? These are just cheapy things from like the dollar store or Amazon, because I have so whenever I actually teach a class in person, for those of you who have been to one of my classes, you'll know this, but I actually have this set up. Usually what we do is we do 5 to 6 stations, and we have people work together, but I do have enough stations to do 10. So I could take 10 people. I don't like to get over 10 people, because then it starts to get really hard to give people their individual attention. And I really feel like that's an important part. I would love to have like 200 people in a class, but I can't give 200 people, the individual attention that they deserve. So that's one of the things that I like to do. I would rather do like multiple sessions of a class than have one big class where I don't feel like I can connect with people and I can't give them the attention that they need and that they deserve. So anyway, I can do anywhere from like 1 to 10 stations. And so instead of like, going and buying like really nice hot plates, we have these, but there's something to be said, because sometimes they don't, like, they keep turning on and off. So there's something to be said about, maybe it's time to upgrade if I get to do in-person classes again. But it certainly would help to have something a little bit more consistent right now. Okay, so let's just check this. Guys, I don't know. I had both of them going this morning. I have another one sitting behind it that I was going to have some sterile water, just some hot water in for sterilization purposes, because as you hopefully know, if you've joined me before, that everything needs to be super clean, and like you want to have everything sterile, because the bacteria can make your cheese not set up and stuff. So if you work in a dirty station, or you have like that kind of thing going on, that's why whenever you go to like a creamery, then you'll see them like behind locked doors, and they're all like everything's sterile, because it doesn't, it doesn't take much for the batches to go off. Okay, so anyway, I said all that to say that I said all that to say I had hot water back here, but because I had 2 of them going, it kept flipping my electric power strip, which if you've been here with me the whole time, then you know that. But for those of you who joined me and didn't hear that, so needless to say, it's going to take us a little longer to get to that 200. We need Deborah's new wave. What was it? What, oh, I can't see it. New wave induction plate. I needed it this morning for sure. This is one of the problems with doing live videos, right? And not being in the kitchen. If we were in the kitchen, this stuff would have been at 200 already. I actually boiled the one this morning. So in case you missed it, I did do 2 batches of mozzarella this morning. And so I was going to do 2 batches of ricotta, one with you guys, and then one, I was going to do it afterwards, but I was like, oh, I've got time. Like I got up early, I got everything done. So I was going to do a batch of ricotta and I walked away because then I'm like, you know, bright and shiny and I'm like trying to unload the dishwasher and reload the dishwasher while it's on the stove and it boiled. And I think that's probably why it didn't, I didn't get any ricotta. And then thankfully I did this off camera. I was taking the pot and you take it off the heat, then you add your acids and then you let it sit for 10 minutes and whatever. And then you strain it into your colander lined with cheesecloth or this muslin that I love so much. And so I was pouring it. The instructions say ladle it. I was pouring it, and of course I had like the cheesecloth doubled up because I had the plastic stuff and it wasn't quite wide enough. And so I was picking it up and it just went it went everywhere, all over the floor, all over the counter. And I said, well, I guess we're just not getting that batch of ricotta. And it looks like we're not going to get a batch of ricotta now because this is not heating up enough. We're still at 140. Okay. So this is good because if I'm going to do a class, like I was just talking about, whenever I go do my in-person classes, I might actually need better, I actually probably need to get better hot plates just because I think it's frustrating for my class participants sometimes because it doesn't, like if we're doing something like salves or lip balms that doesn't require a lot of heat, you're just melting some beeswax. It's going to take you 15 minutes with these little hot plates. But if we're doing stuff like canning or cooking or, you know, doing our cheese, because I mean, we haven't moved from 140 at all in that, let's see, what have I been on here for 32 minutes? So what do you think? It took me about 10 minutes to get everything kind of situated. So for 20 minutes, we've been at 140. So, okay. Well, let's just give it another, you know, second here and let's see what happens. I definitely have, as you can see, apparently I didn't get all the curds out whenever I made mozzarella. So I guess the one thing that we can do is we can improvise and we can pretend like that's at 200. We'll do the acids, we'll let it sit, and then we'll pour it through the strainer. And we'll just see what happens. Okay, guys? I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do today without, I'm just going to walk over here, make sure I'm not, there's a little bit of a delay. I'm watching myself on the iPad. Nope, there's no more comments. Okay, so I'm watching myself on the iPad because I didn't see any comments yesterday whenever I was on doing the lilac. Simple syrup. So Samantha actually had a good idea of trying to watch, you know, have it on my iPad too. So there's a little bit of a delay though. I can see. Okay. So what else? I'm going to do the craft along starting in a couple of weeks. I'm kind of excited. We'll do those on Tuesday evenings just because, you know, I don't want to tie up everybody's weekends doing this stuff. And so I figured just an evening to do something different. And I like crafting as well as teaching like homesteading skills. I do like to craft, so I'm not very good at it, but I do have a few things in mind. I did a quick search yesterday online, and my goodness, there's so many things out there. But I found some really fun gardening stuff that we can do. Like, I just saw this, somebody took a table leg and then like corrugated metal and made a dragonfly. So you paint the table leg and then you take the metal and you cut it out like wings and then you attach it and then, you know, like you do little like eyes and stuff like that. So I just thought what we would do is I would pick, you know, do the same like I do here where I just kind of pick a schedule and pick stuff to do. And what I'll do is I'll make an event. Well, it'll be off of Facebook because I want this to be more interactive. I want to see you guys and I want you guys to be able to ask questions. So it'll be like an interactive video platform. And then I'll do the same thing where it'll be recorded and then we'll put it up on my blog and with the instructions. But I'll make an event on Facebook first. And I'll give the, the materials and the steps and stuff like that you need. And then you can join me on the Tuesdays. Good morning, Kim. Hi, family. You haven't missed much. I'm just trying to get my my whey milk mixture up to 140. It's been stuck at 140 for a while. Up to 200, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to do it. And so. Let's see, what time is it? It's 10:30, almost 10:35. So I think what we'll probably do, because we do need to let it rest for a few minutes, is I think we're just going to go ahead and move forward and pretend. But the important thing to know, whenever you're making ricotta, you want your milk whey mixture to be up to 200. Even if you're making it just with milk and you're not using whey, the high temperature, the 200 is important, but don't let it go past 200. Don't let it boil. And then lots of acid. You're going to see how much acid we're going to add to this here in just a second, because I think I'm going to pull it. And I think we're just going to do it. Oh, so did I tell you why I bought the whipping cream? I don't think so. I think I was talking about it and then I just totally forgot. So you can make butter with whipping cream, and you can make butter super easy with whipping cream. So you can do a couple of different things. You can put it into your mixer and you can mix it around and it'll start separating out that buttermilk from the fat. And so then you get buttermilk and you get butter out of it. And so I bought 2 pints of heavy whipping cream. You want heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to make some butter. But also whenever you get your ricotta and you put it into your bowl, because it's going to be really dry, and you know how you get ricotta and it's a little moist and whatnot? They add heavy cream to it, and you just mix it in a little bit. So hopefully we'll be able to show that to you. But I'm thinking that ricotta might be a bust for us today. I think ricotta was better. Should have been set up in the kitchen, so I had the stove. But that's okay. That's how these things go sometimes. And all that you need to know is to do it the right way, right? To get it to 200. That's the key. 200. I keep harping on that. Get it to 200. Okay. It's not going to happen for us, folks. So I'm just going to pull it and we're just going to move forward, okay? So I'm going to put this over here. I got my little timer. We're just going to pull it off. All right, I'm going to check my notes here because I don't actually make this all the time, so I don't have it memorized. Some of this stuff I have memorized. Okay. All right, while stirring, you're going to add in, here's your acid, okay? I've already measured it out. 2/3 of a cup of lemon juice, all right? You can use fresh. I don't because it's a lot, and so I usually just keep one of these big things of lemon juice on hand. And so this is 2/3 of a cup of lemon juice, and I'm just going to stir it around, okay? Then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. Salt's always important with cheese, right? Makes it taste yummy. Plus, you're going to have salt in here. I have a little salt left in my teaspoon. And then your fine citric acid. You're going to add, that was 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of citric acid, which you know is a very heavy acid. If you've, hang on, I'm just going to put this down in there because there we go. I didn't get it all off of there. So that's a lot of acid, right? It's a lot of acid. So between the acids and the 200-degree heat is when is how you get your ricotta. And you're not getting a lot from this, folks. Like, it's amazing to me once I started making this how little you get and how much milk it actually takes or whey that it actually takes to get, like, you know, you go to the store and you buy those big containers. What are those, like a pint of ricotta? And I'm like, that's a lot of freaking milk that went into that. Which is why in the very beginning of this episode of Chicken Librarian Makes, I was talking about, yeah, let me check. Okay, so now I've set it there pretty good. We're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes uncovered. I think there's some mozzarella down in there that I didn't get out. Look at my fancy little chicken timer. We're gonna set it for 10 minutes and we're gonna see what happens, okay? So, where was I at? Where was I at? Oh, see, this is what always happens. Mozzarella. Okay, so if you missed the very beginning of this, I was talking about I make whey ricotta because I feel like I'm a mess today, guys. I'm sorry. I just feel like a mess. Like this isn't working. I've already like dumped half of my first batch of ricotta on the floor in the kitchen this morning. I was out busy taking pictures of my shoes instead of in here minding what's going on. So I'm a little bit of a mess this morning. I do apologize. But anyway, so I find that because it takes so much milk product, either the milk or the whey or the combination of the two, that I do the whey because I don't feel as wasteful. Because I've already made mozzarella. Now I'm making ricotta with the leftover whey from the mozzarella, and I'm only adding a little bit of milk to get it up to 2 gallons to use to make ricotta. So then you're also then going to have a byproduct from that. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save it, and I'll probably do like a pan of like chicken feed mixed with that, the whey of the whey, essentially is what it is. And so the chickens can eat it over the next couple of days and they'll love it. And I'll probably, you can even just put it out in a little bitty bowl or pan or whatever for them, and they'll drink it up that way as well. If you don't have any sort of farm animals, then or any way to like use it, then unfortunately it's just kind of wasted, right? So that's why I like to do the whey from making the mozzarella, because then I'm not just dumping a gallon of milk in here, making ricotta, and then dumping. I at least feel like I've gotten a couple different products from it, I guess is essentially what it is. All right, so we got 10 minutes on the timer, and we're going to, once we're done with that, we're going to put it into here, and I'm going to do it very gently this time instead of trying to pour it in there and dumping it everywhere. I brought my little measuring glass that I can stick in there, and we're going to put all that into here. We're going to strain it, and then you would just tie it up and let it drip for about 15 minutes, and you're going to squeeze out as much of that leftover whey as possible. And then what you're going to do is you're going to see there will be a little chunk in here of ricotta, but you'll also see that it's stuck to your cheesecloth or your muslin, whatever you're using. And then you've got to scrape that off into your bowl. And then you can add a little bit more salt if you don't think it's got enough salt in it. And then you can add a little bit of heavy cream and you can stir it around. And that's how it gets a little bit more of that moisture. Otherwise, you can use it just as more of a dry ricotta, and you can put it on pizza. You can use it for, like lasagna. But like, that's the thing about making your own ricotta and having enough, because you buy those big things and you make a big thing of lasagna, you're going to get like probably not even a quarter of that from this recipe. So it takes a lot. So there are times whenever, like if you're using milk a lot and you have like a lot of, like milk left over, this is a good thing that you can do is you can make a big batch of mozzarella and then you can make a big batch of ricotta. Otherwise, like if you're just like, I want to make a lasagna so I'm going to make ricotta, you're going to have to make a lot of ricotta to do that. Okay. So, the important stuff is, I keep saying, at 200 degrees, you got to get your milk up to 200 degrees, and you've got to add a lot of acid to it. And those are your two components that make the ricotta. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm not sure that this is going to work for us. I think this will be my first fail, my first live video fail. But that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes we can't, that's the way of life. It doesn't always work out, I guess. Let's see, what is our little timer saying here? About 5 minutes. All right. Anybody got anything for me? You gonna join me for some crafting? I'm gonna do some extra videos that aren't live, but just try my hand at making some videos and stuff. Working on the lighting back here in the back room. I'm showing you, like, if you weren't here earlier, I had the table set up perfectly yesterday, but then I wanted to do some other stuff, so I moved everything back. And now I've set it up again, and I couldn't quite get it right to where it was yesterday. And so you can see over here the messy part of the room, which is I always try to like move it more towards the window this way, so you can't actually see the messy part. And I wish you could see this over here, because everything that I have like on my table, and like for my workstation and stuff, like I have a lot of crafts going on right now, which is kind of what spurred me to do the craft along, is they're all sitting right there. And I don't want you to see it because I want you guys to see the prettiness, right? Yeah. So anyway, okay. So I'm gonna make some butter and some buttermilk later. And so I was saying about making butter. So I wanted to make my own butter because it just turns out like, you get those sticks of butter and they're hard, and then you got to set them at room temperature. And depending on like what brand you get, sometimes it never really gets to room temperature. But what I wanted to start doing was making my own butter, so I could do some butter infusions, and then have fun with some butter. Ramp butter. You could add like any sort of herb to this. But then I was just thinking about like different things that are going on. Like I've been foraging a little bit more this year, and so I wanted to start trying to do something a little different than just okay, I'm going to freeze this, or I'm going to infuse an oil or whatever. So I was thinking about doing some butter stuff, but I wanted to make my own butter. So I bought 2 of these, and you'll get a pretty good amount of butter from it. So I'm going to do that later, maybe not today, but maybe next week. That'll go on my schedule. And yeah, that's good. So that's what, but you can use this for your ricotta as well. All right, we're going to give it another couple minutes here. And what else? The garden's good. The garden's almost completely planted. I need the mister to build me another raised bed. And then I've got a few more tomatoes to plant, and I have some asparagus, but I think I'm going to do a separate asparagus bed. And I might do a couple little beds for like, he wants to grow some horseradish, which is great. And so I'll do a couple more of those. I'll do like a whole big video up there. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll start with like a video of that instead of you guys being live or me just doing like a little Instagram thing. I'll do, because I do a lot of Instagram stories. And my ramp kimchi turned out. When did we do that? Last week for foraging, or was that 2 weeks ago? See, it all runs together. That was last week, wasn't it? So that turned out. I got it in the refrigerator now. I gave some of it away because actually ramp kimchi isn't my favorite thing. I like it better. Oh, good. Love all your. Good. Okay, sounds good. I hope you'll join me. It'll be fun, and we'll do easy stuff. We're not going to do anything. I'm not for the crafting and stuff. I'm not into like hard, complicated stuff. I like easy. I like to be able to do it within an hour or two. So we'll probably like do like a 2-hour block for the crafts, just so we can do it, because we'll be more interactive, so we can take our time doing that. And you can pop in whenever you want. So garden's good, chickens are good. We put some roosts out there. I can see like right there through the window right there. I can see the chicken run, and I've got one up on the roost. We did a high roost this time because those ancona birds, if you go back and you look, and I have those really pretty black and white, not the barred rocks, but the other black and white ones that are really truly like they're white underneath and they're black on top, but they have like this mottled feather on their chest. They're beautiful. And they're really friendly, but they like to be up high. So we did a high roost. So we're doing a little pecking order situation right now. So we're going to do a couple more roosts out there, I think, in the chicken run, just so they'll have like a, everybody can do their own thing. Okay. So I do believe we're about, nope, there we go. We're done. This little guy, he doesn't work so well. I probably got him like at the dollar store or something years ago. Okay. Here we go, people. I don't think this is going to work, but we're going to do it anyway. That's what you do. Just follow it all the way out, because you never know. I didn't get it up to 200 degrees. And I think that's going to be our downfall. But we're just going to do it, and we're going to see what happens. You can see there's some steam. I don't know if you can see, but I can see the steam coming off of it. And I see little bitty particles, so we are getting some ricotta. We're just not going to get as much, I don't think. And then there's a whole big thing of mozzarella down here on the bottom. I can at least show you what ricotta looks like, because I'm seeing it here on the cheesecloth. We're just not going to get as much, I don't think. All right, I'm just going to be quiet for just a second. Sometimes it helps me concentrate. Sometimes I distract myself. All right, I'm hungry. I gotta start eating. I say that every week, don't I? I gotta start eating before these. All right, I think we got a combo of some mozzarella. We got some ricotta. All right, I'm gonna take this now. Here we go, people. This is what I messed up this morning. I'm sorry, I'm being quiet. Sometimes I just have to concentrate. And I know it's never good for a video. This is where, like, if I was doing an actual video and it wasn't live, I'd cut it, right? I'd snip it, and then I would come back on once it was all poured. Oh my gosh. Okay. Could you, I don't know if you could see that or hear that, but that was like a big chunk. Let me taste it. I think it's mozzarella. I think it tastes like mozzarella. Okay. All right. So you need a pretty big bowl whenever you're doing this. I use these pots because they're really deep. You need a pretty deep you need a pretty deep pot. My cheesecloth just opened up over there. Okay, this is pretty warm. You're gonna want to hang it like that for about 15 minutes and let it drain. And then you're gonna squeeze that out. You're gonna squeeze all of that out. It's hot, so be careful. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to squeeze it out. It's just really hot, and there's mozzarella down in there. So I don't think we're gonna actually get exactly what we were looking for. But you have a lot of, like, this thing's like halfway filled, so you have a ton of leftover whey, right? So don't put it, like, I made the mistake of doing it in a bowl one time. It wasn't deep enough. So you need like a couple large pots to do this with. That's the only thing with cheese making. Okay, so guys, we got mozzarella. I got a ton of mozzarella. But some of this is, oh no, oh, hold on. Hold the thumb. Hold the thumb. All right. Can you guys see this? Okay. Tell me if you can't. This is your ricotta. There's ricotta on the outside. You can tell the difference because it's really flaky. Mozzarella doesn't want to flake, okay? Mozzarella wants to stick together. Mozzarella wants heat, and it wants to become elasticy, and it wants to not flake. This is all ricotta, actually. I think there's probably some mozzarella mixed in there. So we're going to just kind of use it as a mozzarella ricotta mix. But I could see on the outside from where it went through this cheesecloth that it was really, it's really fine. I don't know if I can show you that, but you can also see what I was talking about with, you're going to have a lot of this left over, so you've got to scrape it off, especially because I didn't actually, you want to strain it. You want to hold it, let it drip for about 15 minutes, and then once it's cool, and it's dripped, then you're going to take and do that stripping motion that I did, and you're going to twist it and get all that whey out of there. Then it's going to really stick to this cheesecloth, and you're really going to have to like get it, like one of my rubber spatulas that I like so much, and you're going to have to like really get it off of there. But can you see this? This is all ricotta. It's all very fine. It's very dry. Okay. So let me come over there to you. There is definitely a mixture here. But let me come over here to you so you can actually see what I'm talking about, okay? I don't know if you can or not, but like a lot of this stuff is very fine. See how it's sticking to my hands? That's not mozzarella, that's ricotta. So had we heated this up to the 200, we probably would have gotten more of a ricotta, okay? So that's about as good as I'm going to be able to do for you today. And I'm right at the end of my time here. I'm trying to keep it to an hour. So if you have any questions, if you make your ricotta and you have questions, or you have questions before you make it, let me know. I probably just didn't. So why do I have mozzarella? That's a good question. I just came up with this question myself because I'm like, why do I have mozzarella in here? Because I didn't. So sometimes whenever I'm doing my mozzarella, it all clumps up together, and I don't strain it. So I didn't strain out everything, so I had a little bit of mozzarella left down in there. I had some curds, and that's okay. That's what happens. So if you don't want that to happen and you're doing the whey, just strain it first. But I'm kind of excited by this. this is probably about, like, had this worked, this is probably about the amount we would have gotten. Like, if this had been all ricotta and I didn't have any of that mozzarella mixed in there, then this is about the amount of ricotta. So you can see how, you know, you buy like those big pints or whatever of the ricotta, it takes a lot. So it would probably take about 3 times that amount of milk that we just did. So what did we do? 2, 4, 6. So it would take about 6 gallons of milk or whey to get like enough to do like a really good lasagna. But this is enough to do like a little, you could do some stuffed shells. You could do a little, oh, thank you. I'm like, pasta. You could do ravioli. And so from here, you can actually put your herbs and stuff in here. So like you want to do a ramp pasta, you could ramp stuffing. This is where you would use this and do your stuffing and then roll out your pasta. And we can talk about that. We can add that to our list of things. So your possibilities are endless. Yeah, I'm going to use this as ricotta. I think it's close enough. All right. So do you guys have any questions? Let me just. Yeah, I'm just feeling a little like, I don't know, not on my game today, guys. I apologize. Next week, we'll get it. We'll get it together. What's next week? Ice cream. Ooh, one of my faves. I'm going to show you how I make ice cream, but we're going to talk about making ice cream without needing any fancy gadgets, because, you know, I like my fancy gadgets, but there's always ways to do things without spending money or having fancy gadgets, because we're trying to do this economically, right? So that's what we're going to do next week. I'll put the recipe up that we're going to use whenever I make my event on Facebook, so that way if you want to have it and you want to make it with me or you want to do it afterwards, you'll be ready to go. Okay? I'm right at the end of my time. Till next time, guys. Thanks for joining me. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. All right. See ya.